Hey folks, AJ here. We are in the heart of DC at Mount Zion Pentecostal Church, and we're going to get inside to show what we can do to help them modernize their media ministry. Let's go inside, take a tour of what they got going on. All right, folks, so you know what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and do a talk through, and we talk about what we're going to do up here to help them out. So the first thing, looking at adding about an 85 flanking each side, an 85-inch 4K TV. We're going to run RG6 because that's what their existing system is using already. Maybe do a SDI splitter to give us some more input so that we have to run all the way back here. So two 85s, they're going to add an electrical outlet there, do the converter, convert it over to HDMI. Also run another cable too. They're using Sony cameras right now. Gonna find the model of that and then put a similar one up here because, like I said, majority of the time churches are always adding another front camera for weddings, funerals, everything like that to be seen. They already have existing cable up there, so you know we're gonna need a tall ladder to get up there. This back TV is a confidence monitor. They want to go with a larger size, but more importantly, shift it over. So we're going to shift it over here to the right, and we're going to reposition the back camera to exactly center of the sanctuary. Now, also back here, they do kind of like a opening host type of thing for their stream, and we're going to put a jack over here and maybe put like a camera on a tripod. I'll give the option of maybe even the Blackmagic Studio Camera Plus or Pro. So that'll be SDI. So we'll just put an SDI connection there, Ethernet connection, and run it directly upstairs into where the media is. Also, they want to add some audience mic. So right now they have that mic right there. We're going to put two here in the front flanking the direction. We can either put it right here. Obviously not going to put it over there near the organ. We want to put it in front of the speaker so we're not going to be catching any sound. The other speakers are up there, so that won't be a problem. Maybe put them right here, aiming at this side, another one aiming at that side. So I need to find, it has to be a snake over there somewhere that's connected there. So hopefully there's enough jacks for that. And also going to put a jack downstairs for a future TV that's going to be on a rolling stand. It's easier to run these cables while we're doing it, so that's not a problem. Really don't need to worry about internet that much here, and that's what's going to go on here. I'm not going to go downstairs because I showed the video of where that is, but we're going to put another jack downstairs for that. Now the other thing is, Pastor wants to also be able to do some streaming and different stuff in his office that's completely separate from inside of here. So we're going to either look at putting a smaller PTZ with a joystick that he can control in there, or a camcorder, whichever one is applicable for him. Maybe get an ATEM SDI Mini, the smaller one, so that the camera is connected that way, but the output will be routed all the way back here. So at any point in time, the people in the media can also control that camera there. I need to do some research to look up the Sony joystick and everything to make sure that everything works. That might determine what camera I can use or not. But I think that is mainly it. So let's go ahead and get back to Richmond. Let's go ahead and get in front of the computer. Let's go ahead and get in front of the computer and then put everything in a design through diagrams.net. And if we get the contract, I'll bring you along to see how we do it. So hopefully this will inspire you and give you kind of a DIY or instructions on if you want to do this for your ministry. So let's go ahead and cut over to the computer. Alrighty, folks, we are back from DC. So let's go ahead and cut over to the computer. Well, actually, we're not going to go over to the computer. We're going to have to do some research first. So let's go ahead and go to the screen. So we need to look up some information about the system that they already have in place. So these are a couple of pictures that I took already when I was up there. And the first thing is, if I can get my mouse over here, this is the controller is a Sony RM IP500. So if we cut over here and let's look at that controller here. Yeah, please ignore the price. But we need to see first what we're working with. So if we look on the back, we have a LAN connection and we have a RS422 connection, which is also Ethernet. I wasn't able to get up on a ladder to see how that's connected, but we do. It is good that it's either or. We're going to get some more information when we try and find out what type of PTZ is going with this. So it says right here, it gives us a list of the cameras that it will work with. Let's go ahead and search for these. And we want to make sure we're getting the right ones that will work. So I know it's not those. Let's check out the next one here. All right, not that one. Only one more to go. In worst case scenario, I'll have to just search for the different type of Sony PTZs to see if they match. Okay, those are not them either. Last one. That's the one that they have. All right. So we now know what camera we need to compare with, and it actually says it's upgradable to 4K. Um, so traditionally, I would want to go with something different, but this is what they already have. So I'm really hoping this is not daisy chained, because then we would need to have some another cable running to this. But the idea is going to be, and I need to look back over the video so I can tell exactly how many cables with a rough guesstimate of how much this is. And I believe this supports PoE. Yes, it does. Runs on PoE Plus or that. So that should be fine. Um, so I'm really hoping this can be controlled over the network and it's not going to go from there. But we do have a marker of what we're going to look for. Now, the other picture that we have is the actual switcher. And let's go over to this. Oh, that's the car. And all right, that was the same picture I was zoomed in. So this is a Lumentech 1080p. Now this one is this. So if we zoom in on some of this, and we're going to cross-reference this with our pictures, you see it has 3 auxiliary outs, 1 clean out, and 2 program outs. Program, multi-view, and references, and it has 8 inputs, but it's only using 2. And because if we look at the picture I took from the back, as you can see, power is going in, it's using HDMI out, the multi-view is only using 1 program out. So technically, we don't need a splitter because we have the 2 TVs in the front, 1 in the back, that's 3. And then we have the one that's in the entrance, that's 4. Going downstairs, that's 5. So that's 1. Well, this is already going out. I think this is going to the encoder that they're using for Resi. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that could be front 2 TVs, back TV, entrance TV, and then another program out will go downstairs. So in theory, we don't need to have a splitter. Personally, I would put a splitter. I'll probably put that still in place, but at least that gives us a start on what we're going to do with the design of this. So now that we got our research here, let's go here and let's go ahead and design what we're going to do. Now, this is outside of the having to go pretty high up to where the TVs are. This is a pretty simple install. So like we're not doing a lot of changes. They're happy with what they got. So, that's not going to be a big deal. So let's put this here. So these are our front two TVs, two 85s, a 75 in the back, a 65 in the entrance, and they already have a TV. They want to put it on a rolling stand. So I don't know if I need to include that TV or not, but I will put that as optional, and that's downstairs. And again, there's no need in having another TV, but honestly, I'm probably going to put jacks there available so if anybody needs anything, it's there. If we're already pulling cable, why not pull extra and put it in places that are likely to be used? And actually, now that I think about it, there was one other TV, I believe. I will correct that if I'm wrong with that. All right, so this Lumen Tech, I believe, is how it's spelled. So what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna use a computer. It actually was a like a mini PC that I've used before. So I'm gonna use this one right now as the encoder, and that already has one of the feeds. All right. So that's a SDI connection to this. Let's make that a thicker connection. So that is feeding this system. And we need to add a camera. So we're going to look at putting one in the front. And these are the existing ones already. We're going to relocate the one in the back so it's actually in the center. So we'll slide this over, and then this will be in the center here. And that reminds me, let's look back at that picture again. Yeah, it is three connections. So they use the same connectors I use, except for on this one. I'm probably going to, even though it's fine, I just like my stuff to be consistent. I'm going to probably switch that out and just change the connector on there. So that's three connections. Four is the other camera we're adding, and another one that's going to be in the pastor's office. So let me actually, oh, and then also we need a connection in the entrance. Man, I am forgetting everything that I talked about. So this is entrance camera, if I spell entrance right. And this is going to be a standalone camera, like on a wheeled tripod, with just a jack. So we'll have, most likely, I will let that be HDMI and then just have the converter living in the media because there's no reason to have that. I want it to be as simple as possible that you just connect it to the jack where that they're going to use that for entrance hosts and everything for their live stream. Um, this is also going to be, and actually, let me change that because this is going to be this type of camera so everybody knows what's going on. Entrance um, camera. And then we're going to put another PTZ in the pastor's office, and I am running out of space already. Let's scoot all this stuff down. And this is going to be pastor's PTZ that we'll mount on his wall. We're going to do, and again, this is a scenario, and I'll reference the video where I talk about which ATEM Mini is for you. This is one of those examples where this is going to be an ATEM SDI, and I believe it's also the Pro or the ISO. I'm messing the name up. What is that? ATEM SDI. Yeah, so it's going to be the ATEM SDI Pro ISO because we want to have, I mean, again, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. We're going to put an ATEM Mini Pro there because then we can just convert, just like we did before. We'll convert the cable coming out of this and convert it over to SDI. So the idea is this camera, hopefully we can get something that's compatible. Well, actually, we don't need to be able to control this camera. We just need to be able to have a feed. So this will be actual HDMI. So the pastor can control this. We'll put like a simplified PTZ that he can control it, or he can do it with his remote, either one. That will save on having to do this. Another monitor, the same monitor that will be in his office, which I forgot about, will be his multi-view. So this is pastor's multi-view. But then at the same time, we can have this split, and this can be sent over. You know what? I didn't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and, now that I think about it, we're going to go with the ATEM SDI Pro ISO. And the reason I want to do that is if I show this real quick. So if we look at the ISO, and let's zoom in here. See, we have two dedicated SDI outs. So what we can do is have one go to the TV that's in pastor's office, so he has a multi-view so he can see what's going on. But the other one will be a dedicated feed going back to the media so that they get a feed of whatever is coming from this. So maybe pastor's sitting there in his office and he wants to actually say something to the congregation, to the live stream, whatever, and the media are dictating this. This will make this simple. We'll just get like one of the other PTZs we'll use, have SDI go to that. And because this is a pro, he can live stream with this by just pressing a button. So we will go with that. So we'll have to put a converter on this. So let's change these colors here. And why do I not have? All right, there we go. So that'll be SDI connected to that. We will have our SDI to HDMI converter that sits in between this. So one of the feeds coming out will convert. HDMI goes to the monitor that we're going to put on this wall, maybe a 4350, something like that. It'll be pretty clear to see. And then we will run another feed into the input of the LumenTech so that now this gets a program feed. And that would go like into camera 5, something like that. All right, or 6. All right. Then we have our other input. That'll be the new camera in the front. All of these are already connected. So not like we have to worry about these. Let's move this out of the way. Let's actually make it a little bit smaller. So we're using all the existing connections that we have already, but this is going to be our front PTZ. We're going to need 2 of these adapters for pretty much all of our TVs. Because again, this was already SDI, so we're going to stay with what they have. And we definitely are going to need to have a converter on this as well too. But this is going to be the difference. I'm going to run a dedicated connection from this LumenTech. This will be aux. No, aux 1, something like that. So that way, I am hoping, because it's auxiliary, we would be able to have a unique output that's just for that display. So this would be if we run the computer in. Yeah, because it has another connection. The computer in will do announcements played from up here, go directly to the TV. That would be good. And then everything else we will run into a SDI splitter because all of the feeds will be the same. And I'm trying to find a good location to put this. So actually, let's move this over. Move this one over. So this will be our program out. And then we can just run everything from there. And so again, depending on the TV that we get, we're gonna run this connection back to the pastor's office. So input number two will give him a feed of what's coming from the sanctuary. We also, that same distribution is also going to the TV downstairs. Something like that. Um, our entrance TV, like I said, we're going to have another converter that's going to live upstairs. And this actually needs to be HDMI to SDI. And that will live up here. So that would give us our other input. And I don't know why it did that. Just use that right there. And we'll probably run a fiber optic HDMI to cover this distance. And this is getting real messy real quick. I wish there was like a button in here that it would just automatically sort everything to make it look a little bit easier. So this camera is going to be the exact same one that they use, so I know that it will work. I just got to figure out how they wired it. Is it just over the network? I think it is, because if I go back to this picture, it looks like it has IP addresses on there. Actually, I don't know why I'm looking at that. It would be on that screen. So I didn't take a picture of that. But I'm gonna get the manual for this so I can look this up. I believe it's IP because it is a remote IP 500. So I think it does that. But we'll handle that. And I think that's it. We're also gonna get Pastor a joystick. So that will be local, optional, or it will just be a remote that will go there. So I have a PoE switch that will plug that in so it can just turn everything on. So that'll be real simple. And that would be like a local network for him. But that will also send power to the ATEM, to his PTZ, and to the joystick so he can stream directly from there. And I think that is it. Did I label everything? So this is the entrance TV. This is I think this is a conference room TV. This is the fellowship hall TV down. Well, I should just do downstairs TV, and that's it. I mean, I wish I could have the design look a lot nicer and neater than that, but I mean, that's pretty much it. So, definitely gonna probably call in some recruits for this one. So I will probably have a form that I've been meaning to put. I'm gonna actually make the form today that I talked to y'all about. That when I'm in the area, if you want to offer some assistance or anything like that, I will put a spreadsheet so you can say, put your name, your contact information, and what region you're in, what city. And you never know, you might get a call saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be in the area. If you want to lend a hand and you want to take part in some CSAA ministry, you are more than welcome." Just realize the legal ramifications and all this stuff. We don't cover all the insurance and blah, 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 and all the other stuff. So I'm going to have the formal details. I need to get a lawyer to write that stuff up. But again, I'll probably offer your help, but I won't have you up on the ladder and climb and nothing like that. But hey, I want to extend that. Maybe this is a way to associate, meet some of y'all, and cut your teeth on some other stuff with some environments if you want to learn this stuff. And the nicest way, you're not in the way, we'd be able to work. And I would greatly appreciate any help like that. So, like I said, folks, link is going to be down below to everything we're going to use in this type of thing. And if you ever need any help for stuff like this, as you can see, we're traveling all over the place to help all y'all out there. And we're doing some international stuff that I am so excited about doing in September. Going over there to London for about 4 to 5 days. And then I think we're going to Amsterdam the week after that for IBC 2023, I believe. Just waiting for the details on that. So don't hold me to that one yet. But just really excited about all the stuff that God has blessed us with and been able to help other people. But if you ever need help, notice you can go to ajhomes.com/consultations and you can set up whatever type of consultations, phone, over video or on site. And we'll be more than happy to try and help you out, modernize your media ministry, and at least guide you in the direction to help facilitate or design something specific for your ministry. Not a carbon copy, but something specific for your ministry. All right. And that's about it. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos. And YouTube really thinks that you should probably watch this video next. So maybe that's a good suggestion. So thanks for watching, folks. We catch you on the next video. Later.